Aphex Twin, right. So, another Aphex Twin video, but this time I'm going to be focusing on the later albums, or EPs, such as Syro, Cheetah, T69 Collapse, and Blackbox, the later stuff. And the reason why is because I am a big fan of the sequencing throughout these records. More so, no offense, than the patches themselves. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in this video, is just how to approximate that style of sequencing with everything being choppy, also really funky. I won't go into the microtonal stuff yet, but I'll probably do a video on that one day. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'm big into microtonal stuff, especially with Ableton 12's new tuning system. So yeah, we're going to be looking at all of the sequencing today. Well, not all of it, but what I think makes up a big deal of those albums' sequencing. I've got some patches which I think sound pretty close to these releases of Aphex Twin. Kind of made them myself, kind of didn't. These are just samples I've grabbed. This bass here is an Ableton stock bass that I've edited. These two are made, but they're nothing fancy. But I think they sound approximately like the sort of newer Aphex Twin releases. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the drums, and this is what I've got for my first clip. As you can see, there's a lot of choppy shit. Sorry, I am using my launchpad throughout this video, so it might be a lot of clip swapping and whatever. Anyway, a lot of choppy shit, mainly 30-second notes throughout. And a big part of this sound is, so let's go to this Lindrum snare. Pretty much every envelope, or every ADSR envelope, on this drum rack is just this. It's mainly sustain, fuck all release. That's it. Because then you get to be able to... That kind of... All of those tiny little ratchets and the little ghost notes and and all that stuff. That is the best way I've been able to find how to do that. You just draw in the MIDI notes for how long you want it. So the way I'd start right in, let's just do a bar for now, is just get a basic kick and snare sequence in. And that's really boring, but we'll work with it. And then just start building on it, man. Just start building on these drums. And I've noticed a lot, again, in all of these releases, there are less breaks and more an amalgamation of classic drum machines. So if you want to build your own drum rack, there's some drum synth sounds, there's some breaks. I just haven't noticed them as much in releases such as... Sorry, I haven't noticed them as much in these releases as in compared to releases such as Drux or any of the earlier stuff. There just seems to be a lot more drum break choppage. So just, if you want to build one of these your own, just chuck in classic drum machine samples, one-shots, stuff like that. Put the ADSR envelope to just sustain, and I think you should be laughing, really. So a lot of this, this kick, snare, and the capacitor is all from the Lindrum. Again, classic drum machine. But I've chucked a 909 ride in there, 808 claps in there, and you can keep going, but I just couldn't be bothered to add more just yet. But anyway, let's carry on with actually sequencing this. Okay, I'm Again, let's just pull these down a bit, because I believe these samples have a touch of release on them. No, they don't. Okay, let's do it even smaller again. Just under a 30-second note. Cool. Now I'm going to build the rest of this groove in 16th notes just to make it easier to see how it sounds, and then start doing all the little intricate bollocks, really. Cool. So with these two, I'm going to, if you saw my last video, I do this too often, but with Ableton 12 you can play all in your chance window, and then the chance equates for however many notes you put within that play all group. So let's have these be quite low. Brilliant. I'm going to do the same with these after we shorten them. You know what, let's have a little roll ups on them as well. Can do this in 16ths and then again pull them down. But this is what I mainly hear throughout those EPs. I might be wrong, you know. I did that in the wrong window, sorry, my bad. It's not sounding how I wanted it to at all. Let's maybe... No, not that at all. That's it. Okay, let's 64th note them. Cool. And now I think this whole snare phrase should be a thing unto its own. So play all, drag that shit down. I'm happy with that. There's a bit of variation, but not too much. And you know what? We will grab these capacitor hits and put them on there. But this time, we're going to pull the probability down. So every now and then, we might have a little ratchet with the capacitors. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. What next? Alright, let's imagine this is one of the more energized parts. Let's get a ride playing on the quarter notes, but not too long. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And let's just chuck in more bits and bobs there. Again, who cares? Let's put in, yeah, another kick here. Sorry, here, but not all the time. And then this might work. Nope, didn't work, didn't like it. But anyway, I'm happy with that drum beat. I think we can leave that for now. On to the bass. Right. So this is, I believe you can just find this in, if you go into instruments then sampler, it's just called pulse bass. I've just done stuff with the filter in the filter envelope, I think. I added this, which I believe is one of the devices in Elephant's free device thing, where there are a bunch of free devices. It's also where I got a lot of the samples from the drums for as well. And I just chucked that in there, so when it's lower in the mix, there's just that little bit of analog hiss, which never goes amiss. Well, hey. Anyway, same kind of deal for the bass, really. We're in D sharp Dorian because the best warp songs are in D sharp Dorian. So just get a groove going. I'm just going to chuck that in. And then something on the last bar. Last quarter note. Yep, I think that sounds good. But now you're going to do your little 30-second notes again. And pretend they're 16ths, so you wouldn't put this one in here, you know? Because that's obviously 2 notes within the 16th, and I don't think that's the kind of feel we're going for. They're just shortened 16ths. And also don't be afraid to go high with the notes, either. So yeah, write your basis. Write your basis of whatever groove or bass line you want, and then just decorate it with bits and bobs. And then another important part, I think, is going to your MIDI control and your pitch bend. And then I'm just going to select this note and see how we do. And if someone knows who's watching this, could let me know. These numbers, when you're pulling your automation in pitch bend, are they your semitones? So if I go up to 7, that would be a 5th, right? I don't know, but I'm going to pull it up to 7,000 anyway. Or as... Oh, no. Just do that. So, would that be a 5th? If someone could let me know, that'd be great. Let's make that a bit faster. But yeah, a lot of this sound, in my opinion, a lot of pitch bendy stuff, a lot of ghost note. It's just funk written with synths, really. I mean, no, it's more than that, but you get the point. So in context with the drums, we could add a groove. We could add a groove to all the MIDI, but I don't know if that's necessary. I think everything in the EPs and records I'm on about, they're to the grid, but they're funky enough where it doesn't matter. I think that adds to the feel of it all. Anyway, let's move on. Pads, right. So I've got this pad which I think sounds like the one in T69 Collapse, the song. It's just dry and whiny. How did I make that? This was ages ago now. Scribbly, sawtooth kind of thing. Again, I'm just drawing stuff in and hoping for the best. And that's it. But you've got your pitch bend, and your glide. These are the important parts of this sound, because if I turn these off, it's pretty boring and basic sound. But if you chuck a glide on, adds that little bit of whine, and then pitch bend for that initial ooh, ooh, you know what I mean? Yeah, and then 2 choruses at different rates and different amounts. Chuck them on. Anyway, these parts always seem quite, not static, but they feel like the backbone of any other melodic elements. So I'm just going to have, I'm just going to have a chord per bar. Let's chuck that up. How's this sounding? Okay, cool. That's another thing in a lot of IDM, or at least the earlier stuff, is that whether it's Autech, Aphex Twin, or anyone, it seems like a lot of their chords are duophonic, whether that's due to the synth they had at the time, or it was a choice, a stylistic choice, or whatever. It seems like most of their chords or their pads are just 2 notes, so I'm going to stick to that. Also, I'm going to leave this bar out just for a bit of space. That's pretty much it with that patch. So, in context, one more time. Let's stop that from being a G. We've got too many. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then finally, another little pad, which sounds normal when the filter's closed off a bit more, but pull that up. It's awful. But anyway, with the filter closed a bit more, I think it sounds alright. And these parts in those records seems a lot more free, a lot more off the grid, improvised, and it feels played in live instead of sequenced. So whenever I do these parts, I just hit record and just play stuff in on my launchpad, or you can just draw bits and bobs in. And the more nonsensical they sound, in my opinion, the better they sound, really. So I'm just going to press record and hit some stuff. That was way too high. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, there's less sound designing in this video, but if you want me to go into it a bit more, leave it in the comments down below. Again, all of this will be in the link in the description, and yeah, in context. And here's the one I wrote earlier. Sorry, I don't know if I'm shouting. It's really loud in my headphones. But yeah, I think that sounds pretty funky, and again, not exactly like those records, but we're not trying to be Aphex Twin because there already is one. Just trying to get those sounds and get ideas and inspiration for maybe other ways how to write drum parts, bass parts, whatever. Funk them up a bit. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. All this will be in the description, as I said. Feel free to download it. If it doesn't work for anyone, if there's samples missing from the drum kit or whatever, leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you and try and fix it. And apart from that, yeah, I hope you liked the video. Feel free to like, subscribe, that thing about the bell, all that. So yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.